I moved into my townhouse a few months after a rough breakup. The quiet felt nice at first, but once winter arrived, the silence started getting heavy. Christmas lights were going up everywhere. Couples were everywhere. And I found myself spending most nights scrolling through dating apps just to feel something. That's how I matched with a woman named Lauren. We talked briefly. Nothing serious. Then she stopped replying. Weeks passed. A few days before Christmas, she replied to one of my Instagram stories out of nowhere. She joked about how depressing the holidays can be when you're alone. And somehow the conversation picked up again. She suggested coming over to help me decorate. I hesitated, but agreed. She arrived late, almost 40 minutes late. When she stepped inside, the first thing that struck me was how tall she was. The second thing was the smell, overwhelming perfume, like she'd sprayed herself multiple times. She sat very close to me on the couch. Too close, our legs touched, and she didn't move away. Something felt off, but I brushed it off. I poured us wine. She spilled it almost immediately, deep red wine across my couch. I tried not to react. We moved on to decorating the tree. I went upstairs to grab decorations from storage, leaving her alone downstairs. That's when I started feeling strange, lightheaded, heavy. By the time I came back down, she was gone. At first I assumed she left, but my body felt too weak to move properly. I collapsed onto the couch. The next thing I remember is waking up in complete darkness. My phone lit up, and in the glow of the screen, I saw a tall silhouette standing directly in front of me. Not moving, not speaking. I whispered her name. No response. When I turned on my flashlight, it was her staring down at me without expression. Then she turned and ran. I heard the front door slam. Once my strength returned, I checked my house. Nothing valuable was taken. But every bottle of medication, prescriptions, supplements, painkillers were gone. Her social media accounts were deleted. The police found nothing. To this day, I believe she never came to decorate a tree. She came to steal what she needed and waited until Christmas, knowing people would be distracted. I was 7 years old when this happened. My father was working overnight at the hospital on Christmas Eve. My mother had been drinking and passed out early, leaving just me and my younger sibling downstairs watching television. There was a knock at the door. Through the glass, I saw a man dressed as Santa Claus. He smiled and waved. I didn't open the door. He said he had presents for us. I told him we didn't celebrate Christmas. His smile faded. He knocked again. Harder. He told me to open the door. Something in his voice made my stomach drop. I told my sibling to call emergency services, but the operator didn't take us seriously. The man came back. This time, he said he knew no one was coming to help. I panicked. I did the only thing my 7-year-old brain could think of. I set off the smoke alarm. Firefighters arrived quickly. The man approached them and claimed he was our father. They almost believed him until we started crying and explaining everything. The firefighters stopped. They questioned him. Police arrived and took him away. Later, we learned he had been arrested before for impersonation and attempted home invasions during the holidays. Every Christmas after that, silence felt like safety. In December, my girlfriend and I rented a cabin in the mountains for a Christmas getaway. It looked perfect online. Decorated, secluded, peaceful. The first night felt magical, until the hot tub shut off suddenly. Then the hot water inside the house stopped working. Later that night, someone knocked on the door. Hard. We didn't answer. The next morning, a man showed up claiming to be the host's brother. He knew details about us he shouldn't have known. Something felt wrong. I messaged the host. He replied with a single sentence. I don't have a brother. We packed immediately. As we drove away, I saw the man standing at the edge of the property, watching. Police later found signs someone had been staying in the basement. No arrest was ever made. The listing was removed, and I will never book a secluded Christmas day again. Christmas is supposed to feel safe, familiar, comforting, but sometimes it's when people let their guard down the most. If any of these stories unsettled you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more true horror stories like this, like the video and subscribe. Because not every Christmas story ends with lights and laughter. Some end with silence.